Boot up and check those buttons. Welcome to another week of HotKeys Esports, your hottest esports podcast covering every major game on the circuit. And you found us, me being Prater, and my illustrious co-host.
Dowan on the sticks.
You have found us entering a very Chinese time in our lives.
Very Chinese.
Because we're forced to be on a Shanghai, right?
Shanghai. Yep.
Yeah. We're being forced to think on the Shanghai time zone.
Yep. The unified Chinese time zone.
Which also, for the record, CST, but not the CST
we
you
did
and I are
have that moment the other day.
That is not Central Standard Time. That is Chinese
Standard Time. Yes.
And why? Well, for the uninitiated, the unknown, it's international season, baby.
It's my favorite time of the year.
It's the international. It's here. It's tonight here, like now,
as
like
of recording,
right,
it's like in an hour
within 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. Sorry, 10 a.m. China time.
Eastern.
Yeah, 10 p.m. Eastern. Where Dota 2 is having its biggest event of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, we out here, we love Dota. We love big events.
We love big events. So
what better to talk about than some fucking international
Dota,
event, baby?
So Richard Lewis will be there. Or we'll talk about it or something.
Richard Lewis.
Was it a fluke? That's a deep
callback.
Yeah.
It's a callback. We call it callback in the industry. But yeah, I mean, you need to give me the rundown, right? You're resident. You're the Dota 2 hat wearer of our duo.
I've been doing my research.
We wear many hats around here, but the Dota 2 hat is your hat.
Yes, sir. I have an international beanie actually. I'm
What's going on? I did watch a video that you sent me a while ago, and that was interesting and informative.
Yes. Covering the teams and
yeah, exactly. Just it was a baseline. Like here's the look. Here's a quick and dirty 2-minute rundown of every qualified team and shit like that.
Yeah, we like it quick and dirty here at the HotKeys office.
I'm fine with it. As long as I know what's going on, how to best invest myself in the esport that I am watching, I'm good for it.
Yeah.
But I want you as my personal Dota expert. Give me the tea. Give me what you're thinking. What are the thoughts? Exciting, non-exciting?
Yeah. There's a lot going on actually. All right, so me, resident low elo Dota player, I know everything about the game, and I will be sure to steer you in the correct direction.
Correction here. Hold on. Correction to that.
Yes.
Resident passionate low elo Dota player.
Absolutely, passion number one.
Passion number one. Continue.
So, if you're also a passionate Dota player, like, comment, subscribe down below. Let us know who you're rooting for this TI 15, big one. It's in China, as aforementioned, and there's been some updates. There's been some shakeups happening, right? Everything was going very smoothly up until this week, really, when
I love a last minute.
Yeah, man, last minute roster change where
really okay.
South American prospect, or I guess not prospect, but South American player and up and coming mid lane prodigy TaiLung of LGD Gaming was
I did hear about this. This is the match fixing scandal, right?
Was permanently banned for it. Okay, it wasn't necessarily match fixing. Maybe more stuff came out today. I've been busy preparing my notes for the TI episode, so I haven't kept up with the TaiLung situation as much because it's 3-2-2. It's whatever, it happens. He's a young kid. I hope it's not like a huge stain on his career because I know Newbie back in the day had got permanent. You don't see Newbie anymore because they 3-2-2 and tried to cover it up, and Valve gave him the hammer. That org is not allowed to compete at all in Dota anything.
Yeah. Right, of course.
But from what I know over the last few days was that it was more like a gambling manipulation. It wasn't there wasn't anything about him betting on his own games, right? Which is what a 3-2-2 match fixing was. It was more so that they were insider gambling, if that makes sense. But it wasn't their own games. It was other games, and they knew they were telling people. Confusing situation. I don't know the details I just know that
You
he's
you
not going to be
can't
there.
you can't yeah, I was like, you cannot be spending betting money on a league you are participating in, even if it's
Right.
not your team. It's just
Right.
not
And
a good
even if
thing.
it's like
Yeah.
tier 2, because it was like there was some other tournaments that happened before TI. Um,
It's a
and
bad look.
yeah,
It's
it's a
just a
bad
bad
look.
look.
And so LGD put out a statement. He's banned from PGL events permanently, which means TI. And
Right.
so to replace TaiLung, they had to call in a favor. And the GOAT, one of the GOATs, my GOAT is Quinn, but one of the GOATs of the mid lane, two-time TI winner, Topson, comes
They
out of
thought him out.
retirement to play for LGD Gaming. And I was worried. I was like, first I was excited, like love Topson. I think he's the faker of Dota 2. Um, just in terms of like his combined knowledge and flexibility in the game, he's like a product of No Tail's mind on like how he can play. And he can make anything. Like he spins up crazy builds and ideas, and they just work because he's that skilled of a player to like make them work. But there's always like something behind it because he's got a really good brain for the game. And I think part of that comes from No Tail, who's coaching OG. We'll get to that later. But Topson is joining. I'm like, I don't think Topson speaks Spanish. LGD, if you don't know, is a primarily South American roster. Consisted of KJ, King Jungles, Thalcor, Yuma, Whisper, and formerly TaiLung. Now it's Topson. Most of the players are either Brazilian or Peruvian or like Guatemalan or something like that. And we would assume they speak Spanish, but I know KJ speaks good English. He's interviewed and translated for the team when they won Wallachia. I believe that was last year. Man, the circuit just keeps moving, man. It's hard to keep track.
Mhm.
Um, but allegedly, Chelakor and Yuma also have good English, so it might not be a problem, except for Whisper, who we don't know what his fluency level is. So communication is definitely something to think about if you've shifted your predictions or your fantasy roster to include Topson. Um,
I'm
you'll
assuming it's all within your fantasy roster switch window too, because the games haven't started.
yeah. Oh, I think they've already updated because this happened earlier in the week, so they
Yeah,
had
yeah,
time
yeah.
to just like swap out the picture.
Right.
Um, but yeah, if you have Topson on it, I would recommend swapping him out as long as you have time within the hour. Um, and yeah. So that's LGD going into TI. They could make a run. Topson's again very skilled, but it could also crash and burn, and TaiLung will wear this mark on his career for the rest of his life if he's allowed back. Which I hope so. He's a young kid. He's 17 years old. He doesn't need a lifetime ban because there are people that have done worse things and have gotten lesser bans or lesser punishments. So I just don't think it's fair considering what we know right now. If
Mhm.
anything changes, obviously my stance will change. But for right now, with the information I have, I think he should be on some kind of probation, professional probation, suspension, or whatever, and
Right.
we'll move on from there. What's your opinion on the Tai Lung situation?
Oh, like I said, I don't have I had heard some headlines, basically kinda I saw a match fixing thrown around.
Hmm.
I don't know a ton. If it is just like inter-league gambling, like let's say he's betting on tier 2 games or whatever within his league,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I think you're gonna catch a fine for that regardless. You should probably catch a suspension.
Hmm.
You probably I would say it is probably warranted to be like, "No, you cannot come to the international." I think that is fine. A lifetime ban is maybe too much unless, like I said, unless there is legitimate, like, if he's fixing matches or, um yeah, like, if he is actively himself cheating or fixing matches, then yeah, that's where we start talking about lifetime bans, but
Right.
if he's just gambling, maybe talking strats with people to try to, hedge bets or whatever.
Yeah.
Ye
Hedge
like,
bets was a term that was thrown around from some of
yeah.
the people more informed than I on the subject were thrown around. So
So
Seems
it's
like
like at
that.
that point, I do think, yeah, you need to take a lengthy suspension, probably more than a year,
Yeah.
2, 3 years, something like that. Um,
Throw him in the G League if
I
they
like
have
I
one.
said, I agree that yeah, you just got to bar them from play for a
I think
while.
it's
Like you
also
can't be
like
betting on it,
Valve
but
wants to make an example as well because they
well,
made a
yeah,
lot of teams
absolutely.
change their name because of gambling
The
sponsorships,
yeah, the
which we
gambling
talked about
sponsorship
last
stuff.
episode when I gave who's appearing.
Mhm.
Um, so yeah, so it might be just because Valve hates gambling, but we're gonna go buy more CS cases, right? We see the hypocrisy. Anyways, heroes. Who's gonna champion TI? What heroes are we gonna see? What's the meta shaping up like right now? And this can all change. This is all gonna change in 45 minutes at some point. And maybe it stays the same. Maybe we're right. Maybe we see something new. And I hope we see something new. I like the flexibility in Dota. I like that we have a wide hero pool, and we're gonna get to that now. So position 5, the hard support. For all you league players out there, this is basically just the support role. Um, wards, utility items, things like that are typically what you see, but Dota support's a bit more flexible. Currently, as of the last couple tournaments we had right before TI, and I think it was a Wallachia season or Blast that came before. That was another major. Or sorry, EWC before that.
Mhm.
We had we're having a tank meta. Tanks are very strong right now. You're seeing a lot of very beefy heroes being played, and to get around that, your supports need to be prepared. So you have Winter Wyvern, Undying, and Bane as some very popular picks. Ancient Apparition is in there as well because he offers some good anti-heal. With his ult, the slow and magic amplification from his E is also really good at being able to pick off those pesky tanks. Um, Bane just lanes really good, can harass the stacks of Icar of Niktasha. Um, help keep the lane in your favor.
Mhm.
Undying is a huge one. Undying is probably the biggest one that we're gonna be seeing in contention next to Treant Protector because Undying Q steals strength, and most tanky heroes are strength heroes. It the strength stat affects your health. It affects certain resistances, health regen, things like that. So being able to steal strength from other heroes, especially tanks, if you're the safe lane, if you're playing the 5 position Undying into the tanky offlaners, or even if you're playing an offlane Undying
Mhm.
into the squishy safe laners, it's just really beneficial. You get the mitigate the shred damage amplification from your ult. Zombies are really strong. Tombstone is having it's like an extra chore to do. Having any kind of like terrain piece that's just generated. Remember Zizarot Portal in
Yeah,
League?
of
It's kind of like
course.
Zizarot Portal, but it doesn't push. Um,
So when you say it doesn't push, it just like makes minions, but they won't go to a tower?
right. They attack hero and creep units.
Eh, okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Makes sense.
Um, Elder Titan's another one. More shred mitigations, things like that. Ringmaster has the save. You see a lot of utility coming out of heroes like Ringmaster. Enchantress has sustain and heals. Mirana has the stun and the quiver. Moonlight Shadow gives evasion. It's other things, but Treant Protector, as I mentioned previously, has been like the most banned hero from like the last couple tournaments. Um,
Mm,
all the
okay.
top teams are banning Treant Protector. They're very scared of Treant Protector, and this is the reason why, right? And this is Treant Protector is a very scary hero because not only is he a tank himself, and we're in a tank meta, so all the items that are good on tanks are pretty good on him, but he has two, not one, two heals in his kit, right? One of those
Right.
heals is global
Okay.
and affects towers.
Okay. True.
He has invis built into his kit, where if you're walking next to trees, you become invisible. He can gain essentially infinite vision with his eyes in the forest ability, where you would choose a tree and that tree basically becomes a ward. Um, and his ult is a AoE root, a la Tidehunter. Think of like Zyra ult, but instead of the knockup, it just roots people in place, and it
Sure.
does like dot while they're ensnared. So
Okay.
big presence, a lot of sustain. Leech seed, you put it on your tank, or you put it on the enemy tank, or pretty much any enemy hero really, and you're constantly healing yourself. It's good in lane because you're constantly healing your creeps, and you're just damaging everyone else around it. So Treant Protector
Interesting.
is big and scary. I don't know if it's still true, but for a while he had the highest base damage in the game. So like level 1, you just walk up and punch their support, and a third of their health bar is gone.
And you said that that one also steals strength stats on top
No, no,
of
no, that's
all the other
Undying.
stuff?
That's Undying,
Okay,
yeah.
okay.
Undying and Treant Protector, I think, are the 2 scariest 5 positions that we're gonna see.
Right.
If the obviously TI meta, Worlds meta, they're one and the same. The game changes when we're at
Sure.
this part of the year because it's just all the strats start coming out, and
Yeah.
the heroes that are, like, good on paper, we see throughout the year, but the heroes that are good in theory, I think we start seeing more at TI, if
Yeah.
that makes sense to you.
The Well, no, yeah, I mean, the league, like, you always hear the kinda thing you see at League Worlds to paint, like, a similar picture, right?
Yeah.
Is there's always, quote, unquote, "the scrim meta," is what they call it, right? Which is what every team is playing in scrims prior to Worlds group stages.
Right.
But usually, there is some level of deviation from scrim meta to actual stage games.
Mhm.
Like, usually a strategy emerges on stage that it has some difference to what was
Yeah.
seen in scrims.
Because you don't wanna let teams
Yeah.
know and, like, have them be prepared for when they see you in playoffs or whatever, and then
Right.
you wanna, like, bust that out late on and then try to dominate the competition from there because teams
There
now need to
was
adjust to it, and
the one
it's
I can think of from a few years ago. I don't know how many years ago it was because Sneaky was still playing for Cloud9, so it's
oh
definitely a
god.
few years now.
That's a long
Um,
time ago.
yeah. There was the bot lane meta, everyone thought it was gonna be something, but I remember one of the Chinese teams just busted out, like, straight up, like, it was like Caitlyn and an enchanter, like, some real, like, basic shit,
Yeah.
and, like, it was just pulverizing, like, the
That
lane.
synergy was just really strong.
Well, it was just like people it had not at all been the meta in scrims, and some Chinese team pulled it out, and then they were like, I remember they did it to Cloud9, and it ended up becoming, like, every team just started doing it, and, like, the way Sneaky described it was he was like, "Yeah, like, in theory, we were like, oh, it's not that great,' and then, like, he was like, and then she would just, like, hit the tower, and there was just, like, nothing you could do about it, and then you would lose your tower at, like, 9 minutes, and it would be like, okay, well, now what the fuck do we do? Like, and, like,
Yeah.
suddenly everyone realized, like, oh, actually, this is the bot lane meta for the remainder of this world. Like, just go fucking kill the enemy tower with hyper pushing, like, long range lanes.
Yeah. The do not approach, kill the tower thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, so we'll see how that shakes up, but we're on the 4 position, and Rubik is here. So we'll kick it off with Rubik in the 4 position, because
Mhm.
Rubik is my treant protector of the 4 position. He's a um, very good in pro play. You see a lot of Rubik in pro play because he's one of the harder heroes to navigate. You have to be very skilled, have a deep knowledge of the game because the closest league equivalent is Silas, but he doesn't play anything like Silas.
Sure.
The only thing he has from Silas is copying an ability,
Okay.
right? So you copy a spell, and in a world where undyings are good, if you don't have an undying, you're trying to steal decay so that you can whittle down the enemy tanks and then
Mhm.
use your other abilities, Fade Bolt, your passives, to reduce their magic resistance, their damage, their physical resistances, and make them more vulnerable, especially their magic resistances, and make them more vulnerable to your burst mages in mid, which are really popular right now as well. And
Okay.
Rubik himself is just a burst mage. Like Fade Bolt is a fucked up ability that you point and click, you cast it, it bounces to pretty much everything around it, and it reduces damage and like damage dealt to you and increases the damage they take. Like it's fucked up. You can
Yeah.
pick them
I
up with
mean, sounds good.
telekinesis. You can pick them up. It's essentially Wraithult in Deadlock. You pick them up and then you click closer to you and you just pull them closer.
Right.
Um,
It's a
you can
point and click
steal.
catch.
Yeah, you can steal a spell. So you can steal ults. You can steal. It's the last spell used. So let's say Alina shows up and Lena does her full combo on somebody, and then you walk up from the trees right after she hits Laguna Blade. You steal that, and then now you pick her up, Fade Bolt, couple autos, blast her with Laguna Blade. You now effect have just killed their carry or their mid
Right.
laner. Gone, done, it's over. So Rubik is very scary. Rubik is fucked up. That character needs to be banned. Uh, we'll most likely see some Dark Willow. Your 4 positions are going to have a lot of team fight presence and a lot of really strong utility like 5 positions, but usually your 4 position, because it's positions in Dota are based on farm priority. Your 4
Okay.
positions have a bit more to work with, right? They're not just ward bots. So these are, just in league terms, these are like maybe your top laners and junglers, depending, right?
Depending on the meta. Yeah.
Yeah, like the Iverns of the game is the
Yeah,
best way I
like
can say it. Like Ivern,
if it's like a low econ jungler meta where they're gonna play Sejuani and, shit
right,
like that,
right,
right?
exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then you're gonna get things like, I don't know, like a locket or something, just to.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're gonna see a lot. These are usually the people that are gonna bring like a drum or something into a fight and make everybody run fast, make everybody hit fast. Uh, Dark Willow, big team fight ult. You get the fear. It kind of, you can use defensively, you can use it offensively. Um, you have the Bramble Maze. You have a lot of CC, a lot of stuns, a lot of roots, and then big damage and sustain. When you like, she can shift. She's like a stance character, so you can shift into like the dark world and start doing a ton of damage in the dark world. Um, yeah, Dark Willow is cool. Keeper of the Light, one of my personal favorites. Um, Great laner, a lot of harass. You charge. Think of Janna's tornado, but it doesn't suck. You charge up a bunch of horses,
Okay.
you shoot the horses out, and it does big damage, huge damage. If you're in your ult, it will heal. If your ult is also just really good for sustain, you get bonus move speed. Your Q heals. It leaves a clone of you charging it that is like untargetable, so nobody can stop the channel, and then you can cast it. You can recast it to like cancel it early if you need to like burst heal a carry or just get like some final damage out on the enemy. Uh, his W is pretty good. It's a blind. It pushes people away. Clutches up. You can displace people with it to catch him out instead of pushing with Force Staff, or if your carry's harpoon is on cooldown.
Mhm.
Chakra Magic, his E just gives mana for free, and then it reduces the cooldown of the last non-ultimate ability used. Good ass spell. And then his
Yeah.
ult is like an install. You just get like a buffed version of yourself. You get an extra ability that you cast it on someone, it slows them. I believe it makes them take extra damage. Confirm that. Pretty sure it does. Fake fan. Um, yeah, Coddle's great. Can manipulate the wave just perfectly. Like the character you want to coddle in your lane. Um, you could also flex him mid if you're a psycho, but the burst damage you can like, the burst damage from Q is really good. The game plan is like you put it down because it's wide as hell. It covers like the lane. So you put down your Q, you run at the enemy mid laner with your ult
Mhm.
on so that you slow them, and then use your W to push them back into the blast from your Q. And because your E reduces the cooldown of the last ability used, you pretty much QE, slow W, and then rinse and repeat that. Because you just charge up another Q as you're like running at them and fighting them. So that
That
character's
makes
fucked
sense.
up. I love that character. Hoodwink, I described to you previously in a game you're watching me play as the Senna of Dota 2.
I like that character. I like Senna.
Yeah, the Hoodwink kind of fulfills the role of a carry, but without doing carry things. It's like an additional carry.
Mhm.
You have a lot of damage from auto attacks, Acorn Shot. You build right click somewhat with like Glipner is a good utility item that also buffs right clicks because you have the Mithril Hammers from uh Maelstrom. You've got the CC and the AoE root from the Rod of Atos that is now Glipner. You can build things like Boots of Bearing or just a drum to get the bonuses of having a drum and buffing your carries. CC in your kit, good if your QW combo to place a tree and then root them to the tree is really good. Your ult does a ton of damage, big arrow that she fires. Your E to run through trees and essentially have like phased movement or ghosted movement, but through terrain is
Mhm.
really good. Is really strong. And with your ags, boomerang, adding the mark and forcing people to take more damage is also really useful. The decoy, like a Nico clone,
Right.
is really useful as well. Clockwork, just a good initiator. You control fights. Cogs are good. Tusk has been good for a long time. I think that character is just going to continue to be good unless they radically change the way Tusk works. But Tusk is always just a safe pick, either in the off lane as the 4 position. You could even run Tusk as a 5 position if you want, depending on the team comp you're doing. That character is just super flexible. Earth Spirit, you're going to see a lot of either in the mid lane, in the off lane positions, or as your position 4. Uh, Spirit Vessel is really good right now because of tanks, and Spirit Vessel essentially does what AA does. But instead of an AoE, you just cast it on someone. It does damage, same way that Urn of Shadows would, but you're now also adding what is essentially grievous wounds to someone if you're a elite player, anti heal. So it's a really useful item. It's a really strong item
Yeah.
given the carries and the offlaners that we're seeing in the meta. And Earth
Yeah, it
Spirit
sounded like there's a lot of healing going around, so I feel like any natural anti-heal seems good,
Yeah, and
right?
Earth Spirit being like a pretty consistent like burst mage that you're just kind of cycling your abilities and like you roll into a fight, magnetize, and then cycle your abilities. Yeah, it's just it's a no brainer. That character's just gonna be good no matter what, no matter where you put him.
Mhm.
Shadow Demon is the kind of like the like the counter burst hero. So because a lot of tanks are really strong, burst mages, you as they are strong right now, you wouldn't think would be effective. And in some instances they're not. If you have characters like Sven or Ursa, the ones that can put a strong like mitigations on themselves to block magic damage or anything like that, Shadow Demon is what you want because Shadow Poison, you're gonna stack that on them over time, similar to Mirage and Deadlock, where you put
Mhm.
the Jin mark and then detonate it. Once their ult or whatever that's giving them mitigations is over, press the button, nuke them, like they're just gone. You can remove a character from the fight with your Q, and then it makes clones of them, so it's really useful for extra poke in a lane. Demonic Purge, if a hero has some kind of like benefit that they gain, you can purge it. You just dispel it with your ult. His new W is really strong, doing AoE damage, so it makes him a stronger like lane partner and lane bully. Um, yeah, his Shadow Demon's in a pretty good spot.
Okay.
Snapfire can kind of fight you from anywhere. Snapfire, think of Snapfire like what if Sejuani was Xerath?
Okay.
Okay?
That's a Dota 2 ass statement,
It's a
sure,
Dota
yeah.
2 ass statement, right? So
Yeah.
you have like the build, the big body, the like frontliner that is Sejuani, but then your abilities are Xerath abilities. So like your ult is Xerath ult, essentially, but it leaves pools of fire.
Right.
Like imagine Xerath with what's the item called? Malignance? Imagine Xerath with
Yes.
Malignance, right? Like that's essentially what her ult is.
Your Sergeant Hammer
Yeah.
from Heroes of the Storm.
Sergeant Hammer, exactly. Your E is you throw a cookie at someone and then they leap forward or whatever direction they're facing, and it stuns the
Another
enemy if they
another
land on
Dota
top of
2
them.
ass sentence, yep.
Yeah, you can cast it on yourself to do it to yourself. Um, or sorry, I think it's your W actually. Your E is you have like an empowered auto modifier, so you just shoot faster. Like you load up your fucking Gatling gun and you just shoot real fast.
Hmm.
And your Q is a shotgun blast, but you can like hold it to narrow the spread and like snipe the shit out of somebody.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, oh dude, Snapfire is so cool. Snapfire came out around the same time as Primal Beast, and I think they really cooked with that like era of heroes. Like Void Spirit, Snapfire, Primal Beast, like those three were really good.
I love my Primal Beast.
Do love your Primal Beast. Tank, not on my list though. Um, I don't know if we're gonna see a lot of her, but very much something to look out for. You'll know why they're playing her. The
Hmm.
auto modifier, you can build damage on her afterwards. Kind of, you fulfill a similar role to Hoodwink, but I think Hoodwink offers better utility that isn't just like how much damage can I spread in an area, as opposed to how many people can I stop moving. Position 3. This is where all the tanks are. This is where all
Your big body
your
front
big
line
body
motherfuckers.
frontliners. Position 3 is essentially your top laners in league. Think of champs like a Scion. Think of trying to think who has like good stuns.
Orn,
Orn,
Scion,
Scion, yep.
Cho'Gath.
Chose, yup. Yup.
Yeah. What? Mord's.
Mord
I don't
counts,
know.
yeah.
Stunned.
Mord would
Yeah.
kind of be an offlaner, yeah.
Um. Yeah. Those are the ones that come to mind when I think of big body. Sedge, you don't really play top, but yeah.
And at one point she could, and same gist.
Maokai.
Yeah. Maokai, yup. So in Dota we have Timbersaw. You got the big tree, we got the guy
He's
that
the one
cuts the
that picks
trees
the
down.
tree up, right? Yeah. I was
No, he
saying, I
doesn't
think
pick
I
the
know
tree up,
that.
he cuts the trees.
He's not the one that launches trees. Which one's that?
That's Tiny.
That's Tiny. Okay.
Tiny is on this
Cool. All
list.
right.
Forget him. Timbersaw, my notes say, and all you Dota heads out there, you'll understand. Reactive armor go burr, and chakram go buzz. He's the tank of
Okay.
tanks. Timbersaw, reactive armor, you take damage, you gain extra regen, like stacks. It's fucked. There's been moments where in the past and previous metas where Timbersaw was good,
Oh, this is
where
the motherfucker who's in the
it's
goblin like
he's like a
sauce suit.
goblin in the
Okay.
mech suit. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's like
He's a
the
Rizrak.
World of
His name is
Warcraft.
Rizrak.
I was gonna say he's
Yeah,
the World of Warcraft like Shredder fucks. Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Exactly, exactly. Um, yeah, you would get like Heart of Tarask and like Old Bloodstone, and you would be nigh unkillable. Nothing's changed. Nothing's changed. You still got those items. There was a game. I think Kezu said it in his list, which we have a similar list here. Kezu said it where there was like a game where Amar, I think, had a insane build with like a heart and soul ring and a couple more strength items at like 20 minutes and had like 3.9k health.
What is so? Yeah, you say 3.9k health.
Mm-hmm.
That's high. I'm assuming, right? Like very
Yeah, I
high.
mean, like
Okay.
I think anything above 3k in Dota is like really like 3k is a big number, but there's heroes that have
No, I mean
3k
that
health but
sounds.
just
I was
don't
gonna say that
scale.
sounds correct because when I think of like League of Legends numbers, I remember I had a game on Orn where I had gotten up to
Mhm.
like 4,500 or something, and I was like, "This is absurd! Like I have
Yeah,
so much HP."
it's
So
just
that makes
ridiculous. Yeah,
sense. Yeah.
like Dota, like your tanks are usually like 3k is like the lower limit of like tankiness, right? 4k is when like you're yeah, if you're 4k health at 20 minutes, there's a problem. Like
Yeah,
you're
that
you're
sounds absurd.
not
Yeah.
nobody's killing you, and that game is
Like
gonna be
20
over the
minutes, that
next
sounds
15.
crazy.
You know.
Yeah.
So in a league game, if you have 4k health at 20 minutes, like yeah, you should. Um, his Q does stat loss to the enemies when it hits them. It's like a
Okay.
15% stat loss if it hits you.
That's insane. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
maybe it's like 7%. Maybe the dyslexia is kicking in.
Sounds like 15 sounds fucking
I mean,
insane. That's
15's
nuts.
Dota
Yeah.
numbers. It's
I
very
mean,
possible.
I would believe it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would absolutely believe it. It's just fucking nuts.
Um, Chakram is just a big spinning wheel. You know, like Unara Q or W, where she
Yeah,
throws
yeah,
out the bolas and they spin for a
yeah,
while. It's like
yeah, yeah.
that, but like it persists for as long as you have mana, similar to like an Anivia ult, and then you can
I didn't
call
know
it
it was something
back and it does
active.
damage on the travel back.
That's cool.
And it does damage for like as it like where it sits, so you can like send
Right.
it out, call it back, and then change positions and keep doing that. He has another one that like does a figure eight that he throws. So and it's all true damage, all pure damage. It hurts.
Jesus.
Yeah. So his character's fucked up. Also, his timber chain it goes to trees. If he passes over you with his timber chain, you take damage, and he can cast abilities while flying. So he's flying at you, you get queued, and then he ults on top of you, and you have to hold that, and then he's just sitting there punching you for the rest of the time. If he has shard, you're eating flamethrower like Rumble, and it's over. It's got you're gone.
Sounds like a demon.
Yeah, he's a demon. He's a demon. He's my scary one for the
And he's
position
doing
threes.
all this on low income, you're saying? On top of it, because he's a 3?
Lower income. Yeah, I mean he's position three, so he's yeah.
Good God.
He also has a good wave clear because all of his shit is AOE. So
Yeah.
you know
Okay.
you can just I'm falling behind a little bit. I'm gonna fuck off in a jungle where there's tons of trees for me to zip around on. And yeah, you got Octarine Core. You heal every time someone gets hit by your
What's the
spells. Like
cooldown on the chain?
it's the chain mad short, mad
I
like
was
two
gonna say, like,
seconds.
is he just I was say, is
Yeah,
he just like tree hopping like
yeah.
a
I
motherfucker?
think I think
Like,
I've gotten it down to like 1.8. Like it's yeah, no, the character's not okay.
good
Um,
God.
Largo, the new guy, the frog, he's really good. He's really good. The auras are really good, especially in position three and especially in a tank meta where you just need to build strong items that just do things for you. Radiance, uh, Assault Cuirass, Shiva's Guard, not an aura, but still like a big AoE. Helm of the Dominator, uh, Vladimir's offering, like for lifesteal stuff, things like that. Largo is just the aura guy because of his ult. His ult,
Right.
you have you like a new HUD opens up and it's a loot, and you have three different songs that replace your abilities. Um, a la Hue, I guess, like your ability or like Aphelios, like your abilities change, like different HUD. Um, and you strum the song and you play Guitar Hero. There's like notes that go, and then you hit the button of the song you're playing on the beat, and it'll pulse and it'll like empower the buff for a second, kind of like Sona. Um, you have a stun, like an AoE stun that like repeats in an area where like a frog is jumping and plays a drum. It's very cute. You have Tom Kench Q, but it dispels negative effects and it also pulls them. It's like a thresh hook, like kind of meet in the middle kind of thing.
Interesting.
Yeah, and it slows. And it slows. You could also cast it on yourself or allies to save them and dispel them or dispel yourself. It doesn't move you though because you're not going in; you're just kind of licking yourself.
Right.
And then his E is it makes things cost less mana. So yeah,
Yeah, generically good.
you cast it on yourself, you cast it on your allies. Uh, their spell like you cast it on your mid laner, their spells just become damn near free. Uh, yeah, he's just very strong utility. Gets tanky, builds a lot of these auras and like AOE items, Crimson Guard, Pipe of Insight, like all these things very useful to have, and Largo can carry them. Centaur War Runner, you run fast and you stun. There's not a whole lot more to say on this character. My notes are we heard you like red, so we made a hero that only builds the color red. All of his items are red, Heart of Trask, Helm of the Dominator, Sange, like just all red shit. Crimson
Skills
Guard,
based on speed or what?
pretty much you're a centaur. Your ultimate is Stampede. You run really fast. You make your team run really fast. You have an AOE
Is it
stun.
like
Think of like Kled
what's
ult.
this fucking oh god.
Yeah, think of like Kled ult, but instead of like instead of like the path making you go fast,
Yeah.
everybody just gets to run fast. Everybody's just hasted.
Interesting. Is
Yeah.
it like an aura around him? Or
No, no,
like
no.
no,
It's
it's
global.
just
It's
like
global.
just everyone on the map gets a
Yeah.
speed bust
He calls
when
for a
he
stampede,
hits
and
the thing.
everybody just gets to run, no matter where you are.
That's pretty fucking good.
Yeah. It's like a what is it? Not Locket. No, it is no Locket's the shield, right?
Like it's the shield, yeah.
What's the
Uh Uh,
A bell?
it's oh my god, what is that item called? It reminds even hers is AoE, but it's like it's what's her face's ult. This girl, Sivir. It's like Sivir
It's
ult,
like
but
Sivir
Sivir's
ult.
is even
Yeah,
is
it's like
just
Sivir
around
ult.
her. But yeah,
Yeah. No, exactly.
the reason I asked the like speed question
Yeah.
is like, is it like Hecarim? Like how like Hecarim's Q is like stronger the faster he's going.
No.
Does it have anything like that? Okay.
No. Oh, his movement speed scales with his strength gain, so you don't need to buy boots.
Oh,
That's
okay.
another big thing. That's a new thing they added for Centaur Warrunner.
Nice.
So like I said, you build red and you go fast, and that's
Right.
essentially this. It's a brick shit house flying at you at Mach 12, and you will die.
Kimbo Slice.
And then he has ability that you can attach a cart to him, and then your carry can sit on the back, and he becomes a fucking mobile turret.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, yeah, like
I would like to see that.
a
That's
cart
pretty funny. Yeah.
summons, and your carry, you pick up your carry, and like your Drow Ranger or your Wind Ranger or whoever will sit in the back and just
You got
like
a sniper in the back just
yeah,
fucking
literally just
shooting.
like you're running in a circle around the enemy and they're just blasting them. Like it's hilarious.
That's pretty fucking funny.
I don't know if we'll see that in pro play. I think it's a pretty like gimmicky and niche thing, but
Sure. Right.
yeah. Underlord. Underlord's a very cool hero. And I think a lot of people uh like from the outside looking in will see Underlord and be like, this is just an ugly Dota design. And they're right. The character doesn't look that appealing. But the kit is where like the mechanics are what make this character so much fun. All right.
Right.
So Underlord has very simple hero, 4 abilities. You don't see that a lot in Dota. Some of these characters have 27. You know,
Oh God. Yeah. Okay.
yeah, like we're sitting between 4 to 27 on a good day, right? I miss the days when Wraith King only had 1. And anyways, Underlord, very simple hero, 4 abilities. Now within an 8. Um, I'll start from the backwards going forwards. Your ult very strong. You open a portal somewhere, and then another portal opens somewhere else, and you just go through it, and that's kind of it.
Sure.
It's very strong because when you upgrade it, you get like the his W to be cast in an AOE around it. So like if a team fight is going on and you got to show up, you drop the door on them, and then everybody's stuck, and then you and like 3 other guys come out of it and start wrecking shit. Um,
It's like Rizal.
it's like Rizal. Yeah, it's kind of like Rizal, but it's kind of one at a time. Everybody walks through it.
Sure.
Multiple people can channel it at a time. Yeah, but it's a channeled thing. Everybody has to channel it at the same time and go through. And
Right.
yeah, um, your E, I think your E is your passive. Could be wrong. They might have changed it with the innate thing. I haven't played Underlord since the change, so forgive me. It's actually easy fix. Go to the Dota website. Yeah, Atrophy Aura. That's your E. Enemies around you are weakened, and they lose base damage. If an enemy dies while under the effect of Atrophy Aura, you gain damage temporarily.
Okay.
So it specifies units. So that means creeps.
Creeps. Yeah.
So you're farming, you're just getting more damage, and then the enemy carry wants to try to trade with you, and you punch them in the face for half their health bar, and now they're scared and they're running back to their tower, but they can't because you put your W on the ground to root them in place, and then you called a storm of hellfire to rain upon them and burn them, as was ordained by God. And that's Underlord. Very scary heroes we have in the off lane. It's a tank meta, but now this isn't a tank. This is Pangolier,
Friend of the show's favorite.
the Sith Lord.
This is the reposting motherfucker, right?
This is the repo. This is Fiora. If Fiora wasn't for scared little bitches,
Okay, true.
this is for the no parry, right? We're not talking about parries, right? This is all in Fiora. You've got
Oh, okay.
yeah,
I thought it had the riposte. Oh
no, your
shit.
Q is a dash, and you reposition and do like a bunch of stabs, and it does a ton of damage and applies on hit effects.
So it's like
Q
you're a Q.
like
Like quite
FRQ.
literally. Yeah.
Yeah, but instead of like the one big stab, it's like a bunch of
There are
little
multiple
stabs.
steps.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your W, that they made him a universal hero. Damn. You've got a shield crash, which is you kind of jump. You roll up into a sonic ball and you jump into an area, and it does damage. It slows them. Uh, you gain a barrier, a damage barrier. So like first of all, you're initiating. You now have a shield, and you can reposition immediately after with Q
Right.
with a shield.
All
Like
while dealing damage because your Q is dealing damage.
yeah, your E lucky shot. You slow their attack speed. It used to disarm. This is the thing. This ability used to disarm. So you'd be fighting him, and it's an auto attack. It's a passive on his auto attacks that randomly would just disarm you. Now it's an auto attack slow and armor reduction. That great. That's way better.
Okay.
And then his ult is rolling thunder. Think of like Ramus when he rolls up and just like hits you. That's kind of just basically what it is.
Oh,
It
okay.
it has a knock up attached to it. You can cast abilities in it, so you can use Shield Crash and you can Q and stuff like that.
Not to be confused with Dudley from Street Fighter 4's Rolling Thunder.
Yeah, and then his passive, his innate is random item and ability effects of enemies have a reduced chance to affect him if they're
Excuse
nearby
me?
him. Yeah, yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
true. So hold on. For example, when they say random items and enemy abilities,
yeah.
right?
There's a chance if you
So
cast a
like,
thing on him, like let's say you put a burn on him,
okay,
it just won't be
it
effective
just won't
randomly.
work.
Yeah,
If I have a point and click stun, it's not like it's just gonna fail, but it might be like half time. Like it won't stun as long or something like that. Cause yeah, that's what I'm curious. Is it like is he a motherfucker who like quite literally it's like you cast a stun on him and it's just like, well, Pangolier innate didn't work. And it's just like, oh fuck. Like because if that shit is just shutting you down, that's a tilter. Like I don't know.
somebody's lying to us because the wiki the wiki has his innate as basic effectively just removing turn radius from him. He can cast abilities without needing to face the person.
What?
Yeah.
But the Dota 2 website doesn't say that?
The Dota 2 website says it's the reduced um or the like it just won't work.
What in the fuck?
So
Interesting.
someone here is wrong. We gotta get to the bottom of this.
For another
I'll
time.
add an
Yeah, for another
asterisk.
time.
I'll load into the game and I'll add an asterisk of which one it is. Someone's lying. But regardless, Pango very strong. Slardar, you just want to fight. Slardar just wants to fight. If there was a champion in League that just likes to walk forward and punch people,
Silas.
true, yeah,
Yeah.
you're just kind of Slardar.
Yeah. That was it.
Slardar,
Silas's whole bit was you just go forward. You would just keep
yeah,
hitting and hit more.
yeah. I think Slardar's more of a set though. If I'm being, because he has the stun.
Sure. Okay.
So if
I
you
mean,
like
Silas kind of
set,
was too, but yeah.
if you like set, well, yeah, he has the knock up, but Slardar's stun is less effort. Um, if you like running fast and punching people, Slardar's your hero. You don't need a lot to get active. You just got to get boots. It's like 500 gold. Maybe a bracer, couple fairy fires, or a stick just to keep you up in a skirmish. As long as you have your first three abilities, you can start walking at people. It only gets better once you get your ult because you cast it and you are shredding armor. It's just an armor reduction. It's a lot of armor reduction. You have a mini bash as a passive. You have a stun as an active ability, an AoE stun. So you just want to get
Sounding
move
a
speed.
lot like Trundle.
Maybe he is the Trundle of this game.
Let's
Fights with a
say, I mean,
stick.
I said
Yeah,
Trundle is an auto attacker, but when you're saying he's just walking up and I mean, he does. It doesn't sound like he steals it. Trundle's thing is he steals it, but I mean, it's effectively the
right,
same thing. You're just reducing their armor to 0 and then beating the shit out of them
right.
while you're doing
Yeah,
it. Yeah.
no, exactly. And then you have to increase your sticking power. You're like, oh man, like I need to get all these movement speed things. I need to get like a blink dagger and all that. And you should because they're very good on him. But early game, you have an ability that just makes you run fast. So your sticking power, you just walk up to them, hit the stun, start beating them. They're gonna run. You pop your E, you start chasing. Gold cloak
Cold cloak.
through the jungle.
Evil motherfucker.
You
I
call
mean, sounds
Tiny.
yeah. Sounds
Say
like a
yo
move.
rocks. You sick him on him. And Slardar puts his ult on you.
Face down in the snow.
Face down in the river. And Slardar is his mini bash chance. It's not even a chance anymore. It's like a 3-second cooldown. You're just getting mini bashed every other hit.
What's mini bash? Is it just like an additional auto on his auto or
Mini
something?
bash is so bash is essentially like a stun. Bash is Spirit Breaker's ability where he like mini stuns you. So it's like a
Right.
quick like little stun because stun timers in Dota are abhorrently long. So
Right.
so we have mini stuns,
Right.
which are
Yeah.
just stuns that are short enough to
Right.
be
It's like
annoying,
a
but
point,
not.
like a point two. Like it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh,
like a
tap me
decimal.
out of my thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll cancel a TP,
Right. Exactly.
but it
That's
won't.
the way I think about it. It's not gonna really impair movement necessarily, but it'll
Yeah,
stop an action. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, you get mini bashed, mini stunned, and yeah, that's that's Slardar. Doom, the devil himself.
Ooh.
Doom. He's a farming machine. He sustains really well with his W. Doom, his ultimate is incredible. You put it on someone and they are effectively removed from the fight. They can walk around and scream for help. Uh, you, the way it works, you put a curse on them. It does true damage. It silences them. It stops their regen, and it does damage over time, and it's a lot of damage. Think of
Okay.
like a think of the buildup of a Tristana bomb when you're low health. Now just put the damage of that bomb per tick on you
Oh,
from full
okay.
health.
Yeah.
And
It's
then
pretty. Oh.
you can't cast abilities. If you have a blink dagger, you can't use that because you're taking damage. All you can do is
Okay.
pray.
And this is point and click.
Point and click. Yes.
Nice.
It's fine because there's items that block point and click abilities and there's items that reflect point and click abilities. So listen, all you league players out there that are like, man, that sounds.
all all I'm saying is you're saying like, oh, it reflects point and click. Now these items that reflect point and clicks, are they like a timed thing or are they like a passive that's
No,
up or
it's
do
like
you
a
have to hit
shield
it
that
in
yeah, it's like a
response?
shield that you can put on, and then if they hit you while that shield is on, it'll just get reflected back.
So what you're saying is I can put my shield on in a team fight and then any stray AoE ability that hits me takes away the shield and I still get point and click silent
No,
stun
it's only
nuclear
single
bomb.
target abilities.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, yeah. So
That's
if
slightly
you're getting
better,
hit by
I guess.
AoEs, it's fine. But the moment you get hit by a point and click, you're fucked.
All right. All right.
Yeah,
All right.
it's indomitable. But like for yeah, it's indomitable from deadlock.
But better because Indomitable has the problem I'm talking about, where any
Yes,
stray
yes,
CC catches you and it ticks.
yes,
Yeah.
yes. It's better than indomitable.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. Devour is good. It's like a second Midas if you're gonna buy Hand of Midas. You go into the jungle, you eat a creep, you get that creep's abilities. Really useful if you find wolves for the crit. It's good if you find a satyr for the regen and the orb, like darkness orb that you can shoot out because that's a phenomenal farming tool. Centaurs are good. You get their mitigations and you get the stun. Yeah, lots of really good, useful things in the jungle, and Doom takes advantage of them the same way that Centaur does with buying Helm of the Dominator or any of these other Dominator buying tanks that we've gone through. Slardar also gets a Dominator as well, so Enigma is our next hero in the position 3 section. Enigma is a pet hero. Pet heroes are very strong because not only do you have to deal with the hero and the support, but now you also have to deal with all the summons. And now there's a bunch of stuff on your screen trying to hit you that they can control, and you just have to try to run from it. Very scary. Enigma Q, Malf- Malfescence. That might be his W. the brain's rotting. I don't remember the name of the ability.
Mhm.
Um, it stuns like 3 times. So like you get stunned once, you run for a bit, you get stunned again, you run for a bit, you get stunned again. That's the gist of
Nice.
it. Keeps you in place, lets him stick to you if he needs to, but he's ranged, so it's not like he'll be walking up on you anyways. Um, Malefice, that's what it is. Malefice. And then the other one was Midnight Pulse. That's what I was looking for. His W is Summon Eidolons. You kill a creep, you summon 3 little guys. Those 3 little guys, if they hit something enough times, they spawn more little guys, and then those little guys die. Temporary like creeps that you can spawn to help in a fight. Very useful pushing. You can use them to take easy camps in the jungle and farm while you're in lane, or a lot of versatility with this character. Uh, you got to be pretty good at maximizing your farming time, your downtime on the map with Enigma to be efficient on Enigma. So very skilled players will take advantage of that and perform very well. Midnight Pulse is just a big AoE damaging ability. It destroys trees, which is very useful. We talked about Timber Saw and Tree Protector being strong
Right.
characters. If they get through, you want a Midnight Pulse to kind of just break up their escapes, break up their mojo, as we'll say, reveals them from the invis because there's no trees anymore. I think for Tree Protector, things like that. It does 5+% current HP damage. So,
Okay.
and then the more people in it, the better off it really is because they're just taking all this damage. And then you want to stack that with Black Hole, his ultimate. Everybody's seen Black Hole. You drop it, Dynamo ult, or who has a Black Hole in League? Is there anyone with Black Hole in League?
Um,
Like a channeled vortex that just pulls people into the center of it and does damage.
Not like quite to that
Like a
degree.
Soul Q is like the closest
I
thing.
mean, yeah, there's like a soul Q kind of. There is like um there's not really anything with like suction like that. Like there's like slows, like New ult, right? Is a big circle that if you're in it slows, but it's not
Yeah.
really pulling you in.
Next champion should have
Um
something like that.
yeah.
Please God, no. No, anything but that. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a
Lycan,
scary one for League of Legends.
Lycan's kind of like Slardar, but you summon a little guy, you summon wolves, and you're just another like right click. I want to box you kind of offlaner. Humble the
Mhm.
Dominator again. You buy that. Uh, he's just good at fighting. You're just good at fighting. You do a lot of damage. Fucking Wolf Bite is busted with your shard. Like it's yeah. This character hurts. You see a lot of Lycan. Lycan's very strong. Beastmaster, for a similar reason that Lycan is strong, but Beastmaster has the benefit of having a stun and some displacement in his kit. 2 stuns actually. So his pets, the boar and the bird. The bird will find a target area and dive, like nose dive down, and
Mhm.
anything in that area where it lands gets stunned. It happens randomly as long as there's enemies in the vicinity. The boar does damage and it applies like a little poison to it, like it just spits fucking poison at you. It's gross. Axes will break trees, so he's good for chasing. Uh, he's got a passive with like the war drum that makes his attacks faster, similar to a troll warlord. His ult is a big yell, but instead of Queen of Pain's yell, his stuns and does a bit of damage. Makes it easy for just locking someone down and getting a bunch of damage on them. You can kind of hold them in place with like your bird constantly stunning them and all the boars and yeah, creeps if you have a dominator running in there. Just a lot of good scrappers. Position threes, you're seeing a lot of good scrappers out there to take the take the fights with some of these carries so that they just give them a harder lane. They can't farm for free, right? And then the tanks, which will just scale into the late game and be almost unkillable if they're treated right.
Right.
Home stretch, position two, the mid lane, Ember Spirit. This is where we're seeing a lot of mages, a lot of burst mages.
Yeah.
But to counter that, to counter the magic, to counter the burst, you want to see Ember Spirit. Ember Spirit has his E, Flame Guard. Flame Guard reduces magic damage taken. It's also just AoE fire damage. You're just burning everything around you. Um, He's got great sticking power with his Q to snare you. If you're like around him and he Qs, you get like stunned. So a lot of the time you'll see Ember Spirits use their remnants to go in. They'll fly the remnant, they'll Q, you'll get stunned, and then you're kind of just at his mercy. There's also tech where you can use your sleight of fist, which is think of like Yi Q, where like you dash around to the creeps. It's
Yeah.
basic. It's basically that. But if you time it right, you can stun whatever you're passing through with your Q. So there's some tech there. Very strong. Has always been at the highest level a very strong mid laner, Ember Spirit. So not surprising. Actually, all the Spirit brothers are on this mid lane list. Ember Spirit, Earth Spirit, and Starter. Earth Spirit we kind of covered already. Storm Spirit, you have the Vortex Stun. You have Static Remnants to just blow up and nuke people. You have Ball Lightning, like I said before, to get into fights, zap around. You can jump supports very easily, pull their carries out of fights, like force of nature. Just a force of nature, the three of them.
Right.
Void Spirit 2, Void Spirit honorable mention, I guess. Void Spirit, you can see a bit more niche. I mean, he does damage, but it's like, what, you don't really. The shield is nice, and in certain games it's good, but for the most part, the core three Spirit Brothers are who you're probably gonna see the most of. Slardar again, we talked about it. You can just walk down melee mid laners. So if you're against Ember Spirits, Earth Spirits, um, Pangoliers, you can kind of just walk them down pretty easily as Slardar, and then Pango is also on this list because Pango is just so versatile. You can play that hero
Yeah.
damn near
Flexible.
anywhere. Lena, we talked about Lena earlier as well, blowing up people. But Lena, you're gonna Lena a lot. Lena can be a support. Lena can be your mid laner. Lena can even be your carrier, position one. We're gonna get to Lena in position one after this, but Lena is just a problem. The stacking fire, the damage from your spells, the nuking from your ult, the stuns and your kits and AOE, flame, your flame breath, being able to just like clear waves instantly. Her right clicks being so strong, it's just a problem, man. The character's something else. Invoker, I put here the Azir of Pro Dota.
True.
Anyone can log in, play Invoker, learn how to do Tornado Sunstrikes, or if you're fancy, you want to get an extra, little thing going here. Tornado, Deafening Blast, Meteors. Listen, listen. If you're like that, kudos to you, right? But yeah, every Invoker player is gonna log in. They're gonna go Cold Snap, Flame Spirits, and then Tornado, Sunstrike. Like that's what you see. Maybe they'll learn how to Ghost Walk to run away because they're all pussies, and that's it. But when you get to Pro Dota, when you get to the upper echelons, you start seeing some nutso combos coming out of some of these players, man. Like you've got
Yeah.
they're mixing in EMPs, they're using Alacrity effectively, they're using the Ice Wall. The Ice Wall is a sleeper, right? These low elo Invoker players don't know the effectiveness of Ice Wall. High elo players, you're seeing Ice Walls fucking everywhere. A fight breaks out, if there's an Ice Wall team is probably winning the fight. I'm I'll be so for real. And then they made the Ice Wall better. His Ags just makes all his abilities better. It's just so much versatility in terms of like how you can approach fights and how you can control a game as Invoker. Uh,
Yeah. It seems like a very like
you do it all
reps
right.
equal skill ceiling character, right? Like just
Yes.
if you know the spell book, you're just
Yeah.
more effective. So it's a very skill expressive like
Right. Exactly.
champion in the same
Exactly.
way Azir is very skill expressive as movement, or a Hui is actually a kind of a modern example of that too.
Yeah.
Like
Hui is like the Azir, or not the Azir, the
it's
Invoker of
baby evoker. No, I
yeah.
mean literally like the
It's
idea
baby's
is
first Invoker. Very true.
he has QW and E. Each QW and E has I think 3 abilities attached to it, you know? So like
Yeah. I talked about Storm Spirit already. I put El Clasico Burst Assassin. You get in, you grab someone, you drop a remnant, You hit them with the
You've
overcharged auto attack. You zip out.
Yeah, to say, if you've watched
Yeah.
any
Sumail.
Dota before, you've seen Storm Spirit appear on somebody's screen. They show up next to someone, that person dies in half a second, and then they disappear away.
Yep. Yep.
And
Watch
it's like a 3-second interaction. Like
watch any like young Sumail clip where he was just slamming that character every game, like every pro game, and yeah, that's essentially what happens. Viper.
yeah,
Viper's strong against all the tanks. We haven't talked about the tanks here because burst mages just cycle their abilities. They kind of ignore all that. You're getting blown up. Your tanks just enable your burst mages to be better, right? And then you're using your
yeah, they need a
carries or your
frontliner. Right.
yeah, you're using your carries to beat up the tanks. You're using your mid laners to beat up everybody else.
Right.
Viper though, Viper is essentially a carry that you can shift into the mid lane to kind of just do carry stuff. Uh, Nether Toxin, Corrosive Skin, all these like poison dots that you apply to people, very effective against mid laners. That you'll see, and there's some overlap with mid laners and carry, like with Life Stealer. Huskar you'll see doesn't really overlap, but Huskar you'll see in the mid lane. These heroes with a lot of regen. Viper's kind of like your mid lane answer to that. Poison dot damage is just notoriously good against healing, so
Yeah.
it's kind of a no brainer. And then you also have a break. So for the Timbersaw matchup, where the passive reactive armor, you have a break in your kit. Breaks are essentially silences for passives, right? So
Mhm.
reactive armor no longer happening when fighting Viper. Super vulnerable unless you can get away, but Vipers usually build Rod of Atos, so you're getting held down for a good bit. If they build an Orchid, you're silenced and you can't go anywhere. So a lot of options there, a lot of strength coming out of Viper. Pango, we talked about Pango at length. Pango's Pango. Puck,
Mhm.
you need a good early game as Puck. You kind of playing Puck from behind feels really bad. It's not impossible with a few good ults, but to get to that point still is very requires a lot of skill, right? And Puck is like Storm Spirit, but you're more effective in a team fight as opposed to get in, get the support, get out, get
Right.
in,
Big
get the carry, get
big
out.
pick potential. Yeah.
Yeah, Puck is like get in, stun the team, let my team dogpile them, and then also I can AoE silence. My orb is up constantly. I'm more so like moving around the fight as opposed from moving in and out of the fight.
Right.
Same way that you'll see like an Ember Spirit or Earth Spirit do it. Moving on to position one. Pause ones. Lightning round because there's a lot of overlap here with Lena. You're gonna see Lena, like I said before, but Lena can right click. There's a good right click build for Lena. There's a good support build. She does it all. She does everything. If she's not banned, expect her to be played. Shadow Fiend, you're the right click like mid laner. You think Viper is a good right clicker mid lane. Shadow Fiend scales way better because of Necromastery. Similar to how Underlord gets damage from like creeps dying around him. Shadow Fiend can do that, but retain the stacks. And so you just get extra damage and extra like orbs on your ult. So his ult is a big AoE blast that fears. Think of like when a Shaco box opens. Now like scale that
Yeah.
up like 20 times.
Sure.
And then it'll retract if you have the ags for it. Like they'll come back and they'll do damage again.
Interesting.
The classic build is you farm up enough for a Shadow Blade and Ags, and you Shadow Blade into a group of enemies. You ult and retract it, and then you just Shadow Raise anybody in your vicinity, and they kind of just all die. Shadow Raises is Q. You have 3 of them, a close, medium, and far version. And then you have your Necromastery, you have your Presence of the Dark Lord, which will reduce armor. So your right clicks are even stronger, and your abilities become even stronger because they just don't have that much mitigations to deal with you.
Mhm.
And you're building shred. You're building things like Desolator. You're building like there's an item that has Desolator blades coming out of his shoulders. Like this this character is such a right click character. They have right click items built into his cosmetics.
Nice.
Yeah, like
It's a telltale sign, yeah.
yeah, you know. So Shadowfiend's cool. Life Stealer, the Tank Buster. Life Steal is very good. He does percent health damage. Infest and Feast are strong abilities. Infest defensively to run away from a fight or even to initiate a fight if you have to regen in it because you get insane regen when you infest. It's nuts. It's nuts. Um, Another very strong right clicker. You get immense attack speed. Uh, Open wounds helps a lot with sticking power, keeping people close to you because you are a melee character. Life Stealer, Undying to Viper does like stop these tanks. You're going to see a lot of them as well. Kez. Kez is a 200-year hero. Kez is like the
Love to hear
epitome
that.
of what like a Dota hero would be if it was designed by Riot Games. Kez has two stances. You have your katana stance and you have your like Sai stance or kunai stance or whatever, right? And two sets of abilities, and you can swap between them. With the Ags, you get bonuses for using an ability and then swapping because it'll like refund the ability if you swap. And they're all like his mana is non-existent. You're damn near like an energy character in League because all your spells cost like at most 40 mana. So you're running around the map, spamming abilities, doing shitloads of damage because you're an Agi carry. You can be played even in the mid lane if you want to be fancy, like if the matchup allows for it. But you're gonna be running around your safe lane, free farming your jungle with your Q, free farming the enemy heroes with your entire kit. He has sustain on his ult where he like life steals with his sword ult, but then you also have your Psy ult where it gives you stealth and you have a free out or you get bonus damage with the marks. Like there's just so much going on with this hero. He's like the Yone of this game. You have like the fucking like dash, the wind slash thing that Yone does. You have you have a grappling hook to like stick to them. You have the side toss to mark them to do the extra damage. It's it's so much stuff, and you're seeing a lot more Kez now because a lot of carries are becoming more proficient on the hero. He took a lot more time to reach a point where Kez can be played effectively, and it scares me. It's very. I've been scared this whole time because I'm imagining these heroes in my games being played at a passable level, and it doesn't sound fun. It doesn't sound fun. But then I remember I'm the goat on Earth Spirit, and it's all better. It's all better after that. Tiny throws the trees. You scale. He's like the Cho'Gath of Dota. You scale really well into the late game. You get bigger as the game goes on with your ultimate grow. Instead of like consuming things, you just get like milestone stat boosts. Um, you have a stun. You have some displacement with toss. You can throw enemies or allies. Avalanche is your AoE stun. It comes out in front of you. Think of like Talia's rock thing, but instead of needing to like dash through it, it just stuns you. Craggy exterior is very strong and good for like debuff reduction, things like that. You have a lot of sustain, you have a lot of damage in your right clicks, with especially if you have the tree, you get cleave, similar to Sven's. Sven's also very strong, mitigations with the ult, stun with his Q, cleave as a passive, bonus armor when he does his shout. Like Necrophos is a mage. You have an execute though. You have a heal, you can make yourself ethereal so that you don't take damage, unless by magic. It also like heals you a ton. I believe they brought sadist back or sadism. Was that how you say it? Sadism? Whatever.
Mhm.
Um, so you just a lot of healing, Heartstopper aura, constantly doing damage, and forcing the allies to play a bit more cautiously around you, snowball insanely well, farm insanely well, radiance. On the moment this character gets radiance, the game is pretty much over. Right? If your Necrophos, if the enemy Necrophos disappears into the jungle, and like 5 minutes later they come back and there's a radiance in their inventory, pack it up. The game is done. Spectre's the same way. Spectre, radiance, done. Game's over. She's only gonna get better the later the game goes. So don't even bother pack it up. If this game had a surrender function, I'd say that's when you hit the button. Morphling. Morphling is another like invoker kind of hero where at the highest level you're going to see a lot of really good morphling. In your pubs you're going to see somebody that thinks they know how to play morphling go full agi and get one shot and then wonder what happened.
Nice.
Yeah, the morphling's gimmick is that you can swap between shifting into agi, your agility stat, or your strength stat, and obviously you get benefits from either of them. So you get damage from your agility, or you get like utility from your strength. So like your stun is longer in strength. Um, you have more like sustain, obviously, because you have a higher strength number, and you
Right.
can toggle between them. So you can constantly be morphing one, constantly morphing the other, or just not morph any of them, and keep the stats where they're at. So you want to. It sounds like a balancing act of what you're doing because he's made of water, and the joke is like the ebb and the flow, right?
Yeah.
And when facets
Yeah.
were out,
He.
that's what they were called. He had two facets, ebb and flow, and one would buff strength and one would buff agility. But now they got rid of those.
Yeah. She always seemed to me with the way the stats were weird and kind of shifted on him that it was always someone that rewarded just like system knowledge, right?
Yes,
Like
yes,
proper building and like things like
exactly. And then
that.
like
It
in
wasn't.
fights,
Yeah.
you can start a fight and then start like dumping stats into agility so that you start like ramping damage. And then it's like, oh,
Until they start hitting you,
yeah,
then you
oh,
can
I'm getting hit.
emergency.
Emergency
Yes.
swap to
Shift.
strength, dash out, like regen it. You're still,
Right.
and like there's that in between moment where you still have a lot of agility stat. So like you're still moving fast, you're still attacking fast, and then you can immediately start switching back when you start winning.
Makes sense.
He builds items like Satanic to start giving him that health regen, so you can constantly be pumping agility and not have to worry about like losing health, but obviously mitigations. Like it's nuance. There's a lot of nuance to the character and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, so those are the heroes of TI. That's who you might see. I know it was a long segment, but there's a lot of heroes in Dota. There's a lot of nuance to the heroes in Dota, and I always want to prepare you guys for, if you are gonna 3-2-2, if you are a betting man, if you wanna be like the legendary TaiLung and bet on games, what heroes are gonna be picked? Refer to this list.
So I have, I
Yes.
guess, some follow-up questions.
Yes, sir.
Um, Out of this list, obviously, you've named many a hero that you think will be popular across this stage.
Correct.
Um, what do you think? Like, do any of these fall under the category of like? Do you think some of these are so good that it's just you are not going to see them because they're going to be banned every game?
If we're going based on like stats from the previous tournaments, probably Trien. Trien,
So
Dark
you think
Willow,
he's really good, but
Undying.
he's just not going to get through 90%
Yeah,
of the time.
like those three, I've seen banned the most. Dark Willow, I've seen make it through enough times, and I feel like teams with the right draft feel like they can fight an Undying, because they usually just don't have to approach, or they have some way of getting rid of Tombstone very fast in the middle of a fight, or like an escape to avoid it. So Treant Protector has um a lot of tools that make him hard to play around, especially in this meta. Lena as well. Lena's super versatile. You can see Lena pretty much anywhere. If you first pick Lena, it's almost the safest bet because you can just put her on any one of
Sure.
your players,
Very flexible.
and
Right.
yeah, and they'll excel on her regard. Like I've seen Lena, I think played in all 5 roles across like 3 different games, like 3 different like series of games.
Okay.
So
So with that kind of pick and ban, levels of flexibility, do you think there is a side right now that is favored going into TI?
what do you mean aside?
Well, because isn't there like does Radiant or whatever get pick first and like ban first? Like, how does their pick and ban work? Is it like League in the sense that red side will always get the first two bans, but not have first pick, like that kind of thing?
So you can like because you can pick what side you're on.
Well, I mean, I'm assuming there's got to be a first pick because they're not
Yeah.
picking champs at the same time. So
No, right.
usually, if there's going to be an order like that, there's gonna. So do you want to be the side that's banning twice and picking first, or do you want to be the side that's not picking first, but you get more bans and you usually get to pick last, so you can like counter pick after a full thing is revealed, or do you think that's like a team specific thing?
Yeah, no, it's you just choose if you want first pick or not because either side can pick first.
Okay, sure. But
Yeah.
so then, yeah, change the side
So
question
like
because
it
yeah,
so
League
like
of Legends
if
would be more
you
side
so
based.
like
But
if
I'm
you
saying like,
choose well like
yeah,
so
would you rather be the first pick team on this one or
or
the
would you
last pick
rather
team
be
on
on
this
a
one?
different side of the map? Right? Because
Well,
Radiant
like I
is a
said, clearly,
stronger side to play on, but if you
mhm.
choose Radiant, then you lose first pick or vice versa. Right? Like if
Okay,
you
so it is like League then, right?
kind of it's well because it's not side dependent.
Okay,
Like either like you can have first pick on either Radiant or Dire, but
right.
it depends on if you want the pick. It depends on what you pick first, right? If you're picking sides, then the other team will get first pick. Or if you're doing if you want first pick, then the other team gets to choose what side they're on.
Okay, that makes sense. I guess what I'm asking, how important is first pick? Because in League, generally, there are sometimes, red side versus blue side metas, and usually that boils down to do you want the first pick or do you want the counter pick? Because the side that's not first picking will generally be able to get a counter pick somewhere along the draft.
Right. Because synergies in Dota matter a lot more because it's a 2-1-2 as opposed to 1-1 or like 1x3-2 or whatever, however you do it in League.
Mhm.
Right? Um Synergies matter more. So first pick I don't think is the worst thing to give up if you're getting an advantageous side because the side will determine your comp afterwards. Right? So it's like, okay, we're Radiant. We have a higher chance of winning because Radiant is just a stronger side to begin with.
Mhm.
We can run stronger Radiant comps, right? And they'll obviously know what are good Radiant comps versus what are good Dire comps. But I think you have that leeway to get the synergies you want early if you're second pick, as opposed to kind of setting the tone for a game with the first pick and then them banning out your best synergy or whatever.
Okay.
Draft is always so nuanced, so it's kind of hard
Yeah.
to say, but yeah. With the draft, who's gonna be drafting? Let's get into the teams, the groups. Yes, or not yesterday, sorry, last episode, we met the teams at TI, and some of them had to change names because Valve hates gambling, but they love cases. Iron Wing, previously One Wing, or One Win, sorry. Boom Boys, previously Bet Boom. Team Vision, previously Paravision, etc. It's a Hooligani, it was Liga, but I don't think Liga is a gambling site. It might be. I'm not too familiar. I know
Mhm.
Liga's been like in esports forever, but that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
First game, all right. Falcons versus LGD. That's the first game starting right now. I think. Um, this could, in my opinion, this
I
could
hear
go either way.
Falcons sucks. Okay.
They won TI last year, but they are in a slump. They've been in a slump since their TI win. Atif kind of Atif no Atif is a Tekken player. ATF.
ATF. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's ATF.
ATF similar name.
I
Missing
was
a
just saying,
letter.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah.
no, no, yeah. I see
ATF
where you got it from. Yeah.
kind of has a limited hero pool, which isn't bad because it means that he plays the heroes he plays exceptionally well. But
Yeah.
in an international setting, I know they just won TI, but you know, metas change, different game. Um, as long as he gets to play those heroes, it's kind of fine. If he doesn't get to, it might be a bit rockier. But also, LGD has a new player with them. Team chemistry is
Right.
weird.
Yeah.
Um, all eyes are kind of on them to see if they fail or not. So there's a lot of pressure for the core to play well around Topson, or for Topson to adapt well to their core to make sure they win. So it can go either way. If Falcons fumble the bag, then LGD takes it. But if LGD let the pressure get to their head, then it's Falcons game all day. So
Mhm.
probably Falcons though, because they're a complete team.
Okay.
Next game today.
Shout out to Prince enjoyers.
No, I think it's the next game today. Iron Wing versus Nigma Galaxy, NGX. Iron
I'm voting
Wing,
for Nigma Galaxy on principle alone.
they got Sumail, so I'll take it. They're effectively a North American team now. Um, Iron Wing, old Tundra roster, now 1-win roster, now Iron Wing. This one, Iron Wing's more consistent. I mean, that team, Whitemon, all those guys, are just that much better. Honestly, it's just players all around. I think they take it, but we're cheering for Sumail regardless. That's our goat. He gave North America its one and only TI. So
Shout out.
shout out, yeah. Boom Boys versus OG. This is not the OG of old. This is new Southeast Asian OG, but No Tail is the brains behind the operation still to this day. Boom Boys are trophy winners. Uh, Not the organization, but some of the players. Ex Spirit
Mhm.
players. Couple Eastern European players here and there that have touched tier one and have touched the Aegis even at times. So there's there's a level of competition there that I think they have, and a level of consistency that will give them the edge in this, because Southeast Asian Dota, let's all be honest, let's all speak frankly. Even the Filipinos know that it is trenches out there. So listen, listen. No shade to them. I'm just saying. I was watching like a podcast for it the other day, and
Right.
they said we just need to look at No Tail's face the whole time, like have it somewhere on screen for whenever some Southeast Asian shit happens, and he just like puts his face in his hands because what is happening?
Pretty good.
What is
That's
happening? Play
pretty
some
good.
freak Dota out there. But man, No Tail's got a fucking mind. If they listen to No Tail if he like Ratatouille's this team to a victory, then yeah, I think they can do it. But you got to give it a BB. Team Vision versus Team Resilience. This can be boiled down to the fact that Team Vision are the favored to win the whole thing. Team
Interesting.
Resilience is a bunch of Team Resilience. I did my research after last episode on Team Resilience. They are apparently like domestic, like China circuit stompers, like a bunch of like pug killers, right? And they're all like Zoomers. They're all like young kids that are just kind of nuts at Chinese Dota.
Right.
And I think they're a good like underdog dark horse team, because what's going to happen is they are the most unpredictable out of any team at the tournament. And we might see some insane shit happening. Their game, I think, is happening right now. Yep, their game is live right now. Start at 10:03.
Hell yeah.
So I think I'm gonna tune in that one. That's Team Vision, Team Resilience. It's the game to watch. Day 2 tomorrow. Team Vision's probably going to take the match though. Let me be perfectly clear. Unless
Yeah.
unless some Zoomer bullshit happens and they pull out some insane, like they do like the Caitlyn Enchanter thing, right?
Right.
And it's like, dude, who are these kids? Why are they like demolishing every like favored to win Eastern European team? Then then yeah, I kind of hope that happens. I think it'd be really exciting. But Team Vision's probably going to win it. Just world class talent on that team. Their carries are insane. I have them on my fantasy league, and I have a pretty good card for them. So fingers crossed they do well. Day 2,
Nice.
Team Spirit versus Extreme Gaming. Extreme Gaming, made of, like I said before, Wings remnants, right? Um, Yotoro versus Ame, the grudge match. This is the Naruto versus Sasuke of Dota.
Okay. I
They
like
they
that.
have this beef where they're both probably the best carries to ever grace the game. Uh, but they always have like a friends to enemies, enemies to lovers, and then back to enemies kind of thing going on. So
Okay. I
that's gonna be a
like it.
really good game. That starts at 1 a.m. Eastern time. So I'll
Yeah,
report
it's
back.
getting Chinese.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's getting Chinese. It's getting Chinese. It's not even day 2. It's technically day 2, but it's tonight, but at 1 in the morning, so it's a whole other thing. I think it's really a coin flip. If Ame doesn't like self-destruct mentally, then I think they can take the game. But Yotaro is just so cold, man. That guy is. I don't know if he shaved
Mhm.
his head, it's looking bad. That's the tradition. Yotaro shaves his head every TI. I think specifically for the finals, and that's why I think Magic's did it at like major.
Right, right,
Yeah,
right. Yeah.
because it's a tradition for Yotaro.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I
Also, doesn't that so I know obviously I think Falcons technically has the most TI wins across the roster. But I mean Spirits is like pretty high, right? Isn't it like cuz
they've won
Yatoro's
2.
1-2,
Yeah.
Collapse is 1-2, Laurel's 1-1,
Hmm.
like
Yeah. So the Spirit. So like the organizations competing for their third Aegis are Spirit, OG, and Liquid. Everyone else is competing for their second. And then you've got a couple teams.
Falcons
Falcons have
has
their
yeah,
one.
can
Yeah.
get 3 as well. Iron Wing in theory can well, I'm saying like from a player standpoint, you can get
Right.
3
Yeah. They,
across
they can
those, yeah.
get 3 across a few players. Iron Wing has
Yeah.
some that can as well. So yeah.
And no one in the history of the game has gotten 3, right? Like that's the
Right.
big
No.
deal.
That's why
Yeah.
this TI is such a big deal as well, because this could be
No
the
player has
first
taken
like
3
three-peat
Aegises.
of any team, any organization ever in the
And even
history of
down to
Dota.
any player. Like I
Yeah.
don't think any player
No.
has 3
Exactly.
Aegises.
Yeah.
So if someone with 2 wins, yeah.
So that'll be big news. Speaking of Team Liquid versus Vici Gaming, uh, give the game to Liquid. Unless boomer ass Vici Gaming, fucking Faith Beyond, who's going by Bach now, Xin Q and Y, just old ass Chinese Dota, like the names of old, the 3 sages of Chinese Dota, sitting there playing the game. This is a rec league for them, man. If Liquid lose, hang it up, fire your coach, implode the team. Ace and Tofu were never that good to begin with. Gaming Gladiators made it to finals on a fluke. It was a fluke, Richard Lewis. It really was. Aurora versus Gamer Legion. This is gonna break my heart. Gamer Legion is not cutting it. I, they're the heroes
How
NA
dare you,
needs.
bro?
They're the heroes NA needs, and I want them to win. I bought their thing, but I I just don't see them beating any other team that it isn't Hooligani. And they don't even get to play Hooligani today because Hooligani is playing Yandex. And Yandex is Yandex. Yandex is the other favorite to win the entire tournament. This is Hydrogen Bomb versus Coughing Baby of a Dota game. Watson and Malady are gonna dog walk the carry lane, and there's nothing they can do. There's nothing Hooligani can do about it. If Hooligani somehow by some miracle, by some like tier 0 bullshit, pulls a win out of their ass, wins a set, wins a series off of Yandex, everything is cooked. The tournament is up in the air. Nobody's winning. A secret 17th team or whatever is going to come out of the woodworks and just take the whole thing. I have no other words. That yeah, it's all cooked. It's all cooked. Yeah. I hope Gamer
God
Legion
bless
does
Gamer
well.
Legion.
God
Yeah.
bless Gamer Legion.
Ye of little faith, you have been measured and found wanting.
Yes. All those Game Leap videos, if they lose here, those Game Leap videos are bullshit. Listen, right? Speed can say as high MMR all he wants. Listen, you're not winning TI games. I can't trust you.
That guy's
I'm
gonna be
sorry.
cutting YouTube content on the show floor. Like
I, I'm certain there is a vlog in the works as we speak. He is vlogging in the pod right now at the qualifiers in the hotel room.
bro is in
Yeah.
his fucking in his hotel room
What's up, everybody? Speed here.
going, we're gonna test this new build in a TI game.
I found this build on TikTok. Yeah, man. That's
But
a good
imagine if he
series.
wins though.
I'd be so
You can
happy.
see that. You can see the
I'd be
title, the
so
clickbait
happy.
title right there.
Oh,
This
man.
build takes down TI champions? Question mark.
They're playing Aurora. There's some old Spirit players on there that do have Aegis on that team, I'm pretty sure. So, yeah.
Mira. Yeah, I'm
Yeah,
looking at it
Mira.
now. Mira's the one player. He has 2 on Aurora.
Yeah, that's group stages. That's group stages. We gotta wrap this up so we can get to these games. But before we go, and before they shut the lights off on TI every year, except for last year,
Mhm.
we get a little teaser of what's to
Except for
come.
last year.
Yeah, so they didn't give us anything last year. Last year they just shut the stream off and told
They
us to go
said, "Get
fuck
the fuck
ourselves.
out."
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was
You ain't gotta
upset.
go home, but you gotta get the hell out the
I
arena.
was quite upset. And then guess what? They released Ringmaster after a fucking year. Yeah. All right. Sure. Great. Or Largo. Sorry. We had like a Largo trailer months after TI. Anyways. I digress. New
Mhm.
hero is what I'm getting at. I've kind of already
Right.
spoiled the point. They usually tease a new hero at TI. Before in the TIs of old, it was teasing which Dota 1 hero was going to be reprised in Dota 2, or which
Right.
duo of Dota 1 heroes was going to get their like seasonal
We're pretty
release.
past that at this point now.
Yeah.
They're all new,
Now
right? Yeah.
after 7.0, with the inclusion of Monkey King, that was our first ever original Dota 2 hero. Every hero after that has been a brand new original hero to Dota 2. And Largo was the last one. Currently, we have an event going on surrounding Ringmaster and a couple of the other heroes in automaton form because of Ringmaster and these witches that are on his Dark Carnival train. He's on a train and he's kidnapped heroes, turned them into robots, a la Five Nights at Freddy's. And you pilot Legion Commander, Hoodwink, and Slark through this train, talking to
Like
Oracle.
Resident Evil 0, bro.
It really is Resident Evil Zero. If Resident Evil Zero
A dog
was,
shit ass train segment.
there's a level of charm to it. It's got a retro feel that I can appreciate.
It's got a cool location. That's about all I'm gonna give you.
That is true. That is true. The train is a cool location. Everything but the outside part with the soldiers and the worms, the leeches. Sorry. Uh, but yeah, on this train are some evil witches employed by the Ringmaster. Now this all means nothing. Dota lore barely exists, but what does exist is Bex as potentially the new character. It's who I'm rooting for. I think there's a possibility for a kit to be really interesting by utilizing the plushie housing the spirit of Bog Shagath, the Eater of Worlds. Um,
Yeah, as you do.
yeah, she's got a really cool. She's like a very fleshed out design for like a side character. Like she's got some
Yeah, she seems cool. I'm
cool
looking at
things
it now.
going on with her.
I like that Bog Shagath is a literal plushie.
Yeah, it's just a plushie that
Just a
like
cute
speaks to them. It's great.
plushie. Yeah.
They'll have like cool voice lines, I would assume, similar to Ogre Magi talking to each other.
Right.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of fun stuff you could do, and if we're gonna get a teased hero at a reasonable cadence, Dota might be back. Dota might be back. Listen. I understand Deadlock has to come out at some point. I think people are just happy with the game right now. Start giving Dota some more love. Counter Strike people are never happy. Fuck them. Give Dota some love. We're don't do us like TF2, please. I'm begging, don't do us like TF2, please. I'm on my knees. Gabe, Ice Frog, listen to me. Please hear my cries. Pull the strings, like Gamer Legion win TI, and give
Yes.
us a normal release cadence for heroes or updates, and bring back the goddamn compendiums. You didn't do it this year, but we're crowdfunding again, guys. So it's okay. It's forgivable.
That's nice. We'll take that. Baby steps, small wins.
So what say you? What's your views on TI this year? What are you looking forward to? What are you excited about? I know I've yapped a lot this episode, but there was a lot to cover
Yes.
for our favorite time, one of our favorite times of the year. Worlds is coming up next. That's like that's our Thanksgiving and Christmas all wrapped into one right here between the season now and then. So what are some of your closing TI thoughts? What do you got?
So for me with Dota, right?
Yeah.
I like to think of it as there's a wrestler by the name of John Moxley that wrestles in AEW, and he
Shout out.
once in a I believe it was like this is one of the Japanese wrestling promotions when he had a little stint over there before he went to AEW.
Uh
He referred to himself as John Moxley, international purveyor of violence. Um,
huh.
I like to think of myself as a international purveyor of high level esports competition, right?
Okay. Okay. The
Um,
John Moxley of esports. I see.
the John Moxley of esports, yes.
Yeah. It's kind of
And in that
badass.
sense, I enjoy high level, high stakes competition, right?
Hmm.
Um, bonus if I know the game, but bonus if it's great to watch. But really, as long as we're hitting the bare minimum, I'm peeking my eyes in and I'm seeing what's up. And that's been the case with Dota for ages, right? I don't
Yeah.
have a stake in the game. I'm not watching the game week to week. But when the highest form of Dota is presented to me, I would be a tasteless fool to turn it away, you know?
Right.
And that to me is what it comes down to. So yeah, I'm just excited to see this game that is so familiar yet so esoteric and strange. Played at its highest form for the highest stakes. That's what's cool to me about Dota, and it's why I will obviously be watching the international. To watch people explode on my screen, to see a bunch
Yep.
of particle effects and gold graphs and
Yeah.
all of this other fun stuff.
There is like spreadsheets
Um,
that will pop up on your screen if you're
yeah, it's
watching
one of
Dota.
my favorite dumb Dota things where they're just like, "Here's the." Speaking of, how we're like everyone's like anti-bet or whatever.
Yeah.
It's just which I'm curious what they do with this stuff, where they'll just be like, "It's the Chat GPT 1 bit fucking gold. Are you fucked percentage graph? This team has a 99% chance of being fucked. Game's over." Like.
Uh,
And I love that because worst case, I've seen that gold graph. This isn't a joke. Like I've watched that gold graph say a team in the first 15 minutes has a 70% chance to lose the game,
yeah.
and then 20 minutes later, they're somehow
It's
at an
swayed
82% chance to
completely.
win. So if there's one thing that Dota shows you, don't tell me the numbers. Show me what you can do in game because
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about them.
Unless you're what's that Chinese team that like doesn't exist anymore? Uh
Which one?
that got it was like eighth or something or whatever. They got like fucking bodied in the first like 5 minutes at like TI
Oh,
13.
Blue Azure or whatever?
Yeah, Azure
Yeah.
Ray.
Azure
Azure
Ray, yeah.
Ray. Yeah.
That's a yeah, legendary. Like I said, it's for moments like that. That is a good example where I watched a guy give a post-draft interview talking about how he thinks that their draft was way better. And as he's giving this interview on why Azure Ray's draft is way better, his entire team is dying in the first 5 minutes of the game. All 5 of them dead, murdered. Like
Oh man.
he has to look up mid-interview at the Jumbotron and watch his team get
And just
fucking
like
slaughtered in the
sigh,
middle of
dude.
the map. Yeah.
It's TI season, baby. We're locked in. Dota 2. Dota 2 all day. Dota 2 all night. Everything I do is Dota 2. Dota 2
Deadlock
this,
on
Dota
a
2
hold.
that. Deadlock is on hold. We outside. Fuck it. And we'll see you on the other side of TI. I've been Dobon.
Absolutely. I've been Prater.
Like, comment, subscribe. Let us know your thoughts, how you like the games. If you were watching the games as the time that we were recording this, and this is going to go up after the fact. So, what games did you like during the first day of groups at TI? Let us know down below.
How's your fantasy looking?
How's your fantasy looking? Yeah. Tell us everything about it. We want to hear it. Sound off. Hit the bell so you know when we're posting next.